Hello. So welcome back to some Dawnbringer Tarot today with your host Carmilla, and we'll be doing another round of week ahead readings. I really like these week ahead readings a lot. I feel like they really help guide me, energy wise through the week. Is very helpful. So I really hope that you're enjoying them too. Sorry about my voice is a little dry. The sun is out and I'm feeling it. So let's get into this. So before we hop into our piles, as always, I do want to show you our interconnected web this week of all the cards that we have. So this week for our power animal, we received blue heron medicine for our collective energy. So blue heron is basically coming through with some self-reflection. And then we have with the Amenti Oracle, which are the this oracle deck represents the 42 laws of Ma'at. So we have I honor virtue. And then with our intuitive messages from the Dawnbringer spiritual team, we have the Knight of Wands with I need to say, I do not allow others to rob me of my innocence and my desire to create. And last but not least, we have our Chakra Wisdom cards with the third chakra, solar plexus, with inner harmony. I was going to read it, but it's okay. You can go ahead and pause the video and read as you need. And then what we'll also be doing today is pulling some romance angel cards. I want to pull a couple because I feel like there's some romance energies out there fluttering. They feel really nice. So I just want to check in a little bit with all the piles and see how that romantic, how these vibes might be affecting you. So for our piles today, we have Amy on group 1 or pile 1, my amethyst shard. Sorry about the focusing. And then we have the cute little chunk of pyrite for group 2. For group 3, we have this really cool like blue citrine. And then on pile 4, we have our little chunk of African turquoise, which I love so much. So healthy. I feel like the African turquoise is so like helpful to me when I want to like hold more water in my body and like help with like moisture retention or like nutrient retention. I don't know why it helps, but it does. It's crazy. So go ahead and do whatever little witchy things you need to do in order to get you in the mood for your reading, and I, my friend, will see you there. Hi, group 1, for all of our friends who chose the amethyst shard or Amy, this will be your reading, or Amy. This will be your power animal weekly reading. So we will be using the Hermetic Tarot in order to get more information about your week. But let's jump right into this. Let's see what power animals coming through and supporting you this week. We have our blank. I feel like this is the first time I've ever had the blank first. So this is really interesting. Ooh, let's see what we have. Interesting. It's like a mixture of it's a mixture of otter and beaver energy. It's almost like this energy of building. I'm hearing building the feminine, and it's interesting because in this deck, particularly in this medicine card deck, the otter represents femininity, or the divine feminine. So that's very interesting. It feels like you're building this week your receptivity or your ability to receive. So no longer trying so hard to chase and hunt down, but more so tapping into the realm of magnetism that you had. It's so funny because earlier today I was reading a post by one of my good friends, where she was basically saying, striving it takes you away from what is, and when you're away from what is, you don't see all around you that is ready to be received, basically. So this is that energy of not striving to get what you want, but actually relaxing into what is and attracting from that place. Like you're learning to attract from without, which is really interesting. I love that word without because it has like this texture of lack to it, but it's not lack. It's like you know what it is that you need, and you're attracting that to you without having to feel as if you lack that thing. It's like you know that that thing is coming into you. So it feels like for a while now, or even starting this week, you're going to begin like kind of the lesson plan for learning how to attract without, like learning how to build like a solid um it's so funny, my guys are like, receptionist center, say that. They're basically like, you're building like this receptionist center in your inner world. And basically what's happening, I'm sorry if you hear the cats outside, I have the door open and the cats are like, hey, food. So sorry. um like there's like this receptionist center. I see like a receptionist center being set up inside, and like all these like different people and packages and all these different messages and stuff that are coming through, and you have like this center inside of you that they're acting as like a filter. They're kind of like sorting through everything. So it's like you built this entire system, which would be the beaver energy coming through to support you. And you have like this really, really deep sense of like seduction or magnetism. And seduction doesn't have to have a sexual connotation if you don't want that. It definitely does for some of us, but it definitely feels like there's like this pool that's coming into you, and like this receptionist center is filtering through all these things. So it seems like this week, even though that seems more spiritual, more emotional, more like inner work, but we do have blue heron, so I suspect that all the piles will be more geared towards inner work and inner healing and stuff that we're doing inside this week. So this definitely feels like either owning that receptionist center that you have inside, or tapping into its energy, building it up, and responding to it, listening to it, kind of tapping into what it has to offer you. So it's really cool. I like that. You have like a little receptionist center that's inside that's just like, So let's get us some more messages from our Hermetic Tarot. What else do we need to know about this week? Oh, cards are like flying. It is a full moon today in Virgo. The energies are really, really nice. I definitely have been feeling them a lot. All right. Oh, we have the Knight of Wands out here again. So we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So that is that attracting from without, which is, for me, in this deck, the Five of Pentacles is the Lord of Material Trouble. So I love how my intuition was like, use the Hermetic Tarot, please use that. And I use it, and then the wording is what's going to be most important here, I feel like, with this deck. So that is the energy of that attracting from without. This is like the opposite of having material trouble. It's like understanding that if you do have material trouble, what is the lesson in that? What are you learning from that? And then how can you attract what it is you need? And then we have the Knight of Wands with the Lord of Flame and Lightning. Ooh, got kind of a seduction energy coming from that too. Let's see if we can get one more card to wrap this up, and then we'll also use bottom deck energy as well. It's a flipping store. Yeah. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. In reverse. Let me show you the card. Lord of the Winds and Breezes. The Knight of Swords. Interesting. And bottom deck we have the Five of Wands with Lord of Strife. Interesting. Okay, so it definitely feels like it feels like you've been on kind of like this challenging journey where you've been learning through strife, you've been learning through adversity and challenge. It's been kind of like building your strength, building you up, and also it's been teaching you how to like not be so reliant on the outside world or the material realm, because the material realm is what we create it to be, what we are doing. So as a collective, and as an individual soul, and our spirit being the beautiful blend between our soul and our soul essence and our human and our humanity and our ego. It's such a beautiful blend. So it seems like what you've been learning, group one, thus far has been not to necessarily rely so much on the physical plane, because because you have something much more special about you in the inside that wants to take precedence, which I'm seeing over here with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. It seems like there's just so much more power about you that wants to take action. Basically, it wants to move, it wants to get out, and in order for you to do that, you have to move out of your own way, and you have to believe what is truly capable of you. So it's like the universe had to corner you and put you in this position of the Five of Pentacles so that you could understand what you are actually able to achieve. Because if you received everything that you wanted right off the bat, you wouldn't explore yourself any further. You would just have everything you need and life would be fine, right? But what I'm hearing Spirit say too is your life wouldn't be fine because the inside of you would not have been satisfied if you received everything that you wanted to, just, kind of like guzzling, like the money, the cars, the clothes, the job, the perfect this, the perfect that. If you would have been funneled all those things, you wouldn't have been able to build the current level of character and the current soul. You wouldn't have the level of soul growth and character that you have now. So that is basically the message that I'm getting from this. I do feel like here there are some people who are going to meet someone who is this Knight of Wands in particular. I don't feel that so much for the Knight of Swords. I feel like the Knight of Swords is mostly here, like the person who's watching is a Knight of Swords. But I feel like there are going to be some of you who meet someone who holds a very strong Knight of Wands energy. So they could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I love astrology, zodiac, and all that type of stuff, but I don't really incorporate it too much into the readings because sometimes people get really attached to those labels, and I do not want to attach labels. I don't want to attach any type of labels at all. Sorry for all the car noises in the back. Everybody's just gearing up because it's nice outside. It's like a spring day outside, so I can't even hate on it. But yeah, it feels like you'll probably meet someone who has a strong Knight of Wands energy, and it seems like they want to offer you something like some form of guidance or some type of like motivation or inspiration. So you might just have a conversation with somebody who's very fiery and passionate and very like on the go, who's just like, that motivates you to kind of like get up and get out of your own skin and get out of your own way. It feels like, it definitely feels like they're just like kind of like like a wake-up call, like trying to get you out of your own way, or like get you to better understand some form of an aspect of your own self. Like it definitely feels like a very strong, powerful conversation that's being offered by this Knight of Wands energy, which is very, very beautiful. So I love the fact that the Five of Wands is here, just reinforcing that energy of like the challenges that you experience, because I feel like the Five of Wands energy is the overall frequency of these three cards, and what you're actually building over here with the power animals. So it's like the power animals are coming through this week to help you really fully realize what has been going on, and you can tap into that inner realm, so you can create that inner harmony that you've been feeling as though you've been lacking. Like I feel like you are the group where you've been trying to manifest and you've been healing so that you can manifest and magic and do all these other things. However, there's kind of like this push and pull. There's so much over here and none over there, or so much, or the opposite, or vice versa, basically. So I feel like you're finally getting to a point to where you're going to wrap up and kind of like get to this inner harmony where it all flows, and you can understand the beauty and the importance of strife, but you know that you no longer have to live through and from that strife. So that's what I'm picking up for you this week with the tarot. So let's hop into the rest of our cards and see what we have. For our intuitive message, we have the Three of Pentacles, what I need to say. I'm open to others helping me with my needs, hopes, and dreams. So the Three of Pentacles is probably that inner receptionist for some of you, and it's probably that Knight of Wands energy coming through to help your Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords energy is all about the way that you think. It's all about, the way you see yourself, the way you see others, and the way you see the world around you. Not the Knight of Swords itself, but the Swords energy. That's what it represents to me. So this is definitely, the Three of Pentacles is definitely that Knight of Wands person coming through to help you, or you just getting really, really in tune with that inner receptionist desk that you have and just really working with that. So, but I'm feeling strongly that as that Knight of Wands energy, that a lot of you who watch this group one will meet someone who's going to kind of like, even if it's like a video, like a motivational video, and you're watching, say, some rapper, some like, entrepreneur talk, and like what they're saying is really hitting home in your heart, that's how you're going to know that's that like Knight of Wands energy working its magic. And then for our chakra wisdom card this week for you, group one, we have responsibility. Yeah, we have the base chakra. I plant myself on solid ground by consistently taking responsibility and having personal accountability for all that I do. I allow others to depend on me being responsible. My actions speak louder than my words. I rise above excess and overindulgence as I forgive myself for my past indiscretions. I know I could not have acted any more evolved in a more evolved way than I was able to at the time. So yeah, I feel like responsibility is just coming through and is basically saying like this this like take responsibility for like this inner world that you have in these in what you're creating without what you're creating on the outside. So it's basically like solidifying that energy of accountability, and I feel like that inner receptionist desk, which is basically you and your mental, firing, doing what it needs to do, is basically you taking accountability. I feel like the biggest word, if you're going to take any word from the chakra wisdom card for you this week, group 1, is accountability. That is definitely the word. It just feels very powerful for you, like a magic word. And then last but not last, actually, I do want to pull one romance angel, but our our law of Ma'at for you this week, group 1. We have, I regard all altars with respect. I love that. So I honestly feel like, too, this is that inner world. This is honoring your inner world. If you actually have an altar, this is taking care of your actual physical altar that is on the outside of you. And this is also, too, I feel very, very strongly about taking care of your body. I do have a sense here that a lot of you, because you are in lack, you have this idea that you don't need to take care of your body, or that you shouldn't worry about the way your body feels or your looks or things like that. So I feel like the energy of that card is coming through and basically saying, no, it doesn't not matter where you are, the way you are designed, you're designed to take care. You are designed to pour into self, and you are designed to pour into others and the world around you. But the first step is self. The first step is always self. So taking accountability and having responsibility for how you take care of yourself, and understanding how life has done its best to grow you, even if that had to be through adversity. If you are the Knight of Swords, especially in reverse, you're probably stubborn as hell, and you're probably hard-headed, and you probably have to be one of those people where you learn through very, very deep force, where you learn through force. So that's what adversity means to me, or challenge, and we all do. But I feel like a lot of times there are some people, like myself included, I am not free of this, who there are some situations and challenges in life where you just learn better through adversity. You learn better through the triumph, through the getting over the obstacle. So that's basically what this is saying. So I feel like even regardless of where you are on this, take a moment to breathe in. Remember where you are. You're a human being. You're on the planet. You're on the earth, and kind of just drop into that. Drop into the fact that you're a human being and you have needs. Your body naturally has needs, and you occupy this body, and this body needs you to move forward and needs you to continue in this life. So make sure you're taking care of your body. I feel that message very, very strongly. Take care of your body. Drink water, make sure you're getting nutrient, make sure you're eating healthy foods. Even if you have to have, some junk food in there, moderation is key. And we also have that message of excess and overindulgence in the root chakra card as well. So moderation is key for the I regard all altars with respect. But also too, if you have altars in the physical realm, making sure you're connecting with them, talking to them. You could have something too on your altar that you that forces you basically to interact with your altar every day. So like a candle that you light every day, an incense, water that you change every day, something like that, so that you make sure that you're interacting with your altar and the connection is still there. I'm like looking over at my altar like, yeah, I hear you. I got you. So I do want to pull one romance message for you. So the first card that flew out was separation. Time apart from your partners on the horizon. Interesting. And then we have give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. I feel like there's one more. And then we have flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I'm not going to go too deeply into these cards. It does definitely feel like they're for very, very particular people. Like, I feel like one person watching this will say, oh, I'm going to work on my partnership. One person is going to honor the fact that maybe they're in a partnership that is ready to dissolve. Or somebody's going to say, you know what, I've been single for blah, 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 blah time, and I want to go out and flirt. So I'm not going to divine too much on these romance angel cards, but I feel like if you are feeling the romance energy and one of these resonates with you, explore that a little bit on your own. Kind of take it base, explore the energy on your own to see how it feels for you personally. So that is all I am seeing. My cards are flying everywhere. That is all I am seeing for you, group one. Thank you so much for chilling with me today. It's such a chill day. It's so nice. And I really, really hope to see you next time. As always, if the message did not resonate, that's okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. And I would love to know how this energy is affecting you this week. Like, comment down below, like, what's going on, what happened. I would love to know. So that's all we got. I'll see you next time, friend. Bye-bye. Hello, group two. For all of our friends who chose the Pyrite Chunk, this will be your week ahead reading. So let's hop into that. Oh, you have two cards. I completely forgot about that. So we're gonna set those aside, and we already never mind. We're gonna backtrack on that. I was gonna say we already have our blank, but let's see if there are more. We already know now. It's okay. We have Antelope in reverse, interesting, and we have Eagle in reverse. Interesting. You aren't trusting you're not trusting your connection to spirit because of how you don't see the way in which your life is changing and the way in which things have kind of kicked up for you. So it's making you almost doubt your own connection to source or spirit or your spiritual nature. It's very, very interesting how it is coming through, especially since we have one air sentinel and we have this earth maiden with the antelope and then the eagle being the air sentinel. It feels like this week what the energy is wanting you to do, or what they're helping you to do, is they're trying to get you to see the spirituality in everything. And they want, with the antelope energy, they kind of want you to exist a little bit outside of time. The energy is saying it's not they're being really matter of fact, but it feels like it's nothing is on your time. Nothing is on your time. And what they mean by that, when they're saying that, they're saying it's not necessarily that things won't happen when you want them to. It's basically things will happen when they need to happen. So when it is aligned, because everything is a divine order. So I feel like these two cards are in reverse because you're having a hard time seeing that, and you're having a hard time seeing the richness in the world around you and what is happening. I feel very attacked personally. So if you feel attacked by this, it's okay. We're in the same boat. It just seems like there are things, beautiful things in your life that are happening, but it's hard for you to keep the stamina, be consistent when it comes to keeping the faith. It feels like when things don't happen on your time, or when life doesn't speed up or slow down when you need it to, it almost feels like that is when you question the very nature of the universe, which is okay. It's okay to question that. And it's also okay to be who you are. It's also okay that you're in this phase. They're also saying don't be too hard on yourself. They're echoing this message very, very loudly. Do not be too hard on yourself, because the harder you are on yourself and on your life, it's that will be reflected out to you because you're so hard on your own self. So I honestly feel like the energies this week, just not necessarily they're bringing anything in for you to really learn or do. They just really want you to stop being so hard on yourself, because the universe operates on something outside of human time. Literally, they're saying we operate on miracles. We operate on the time of miracles. We operate on the time of advancement, which is something outside of like what our brain can consistently hold and comprehend. You know what I'm saying? So they're like they're saying like things can happen instantaneously. Like they really want you to stop thinking that you have to wait for this moon cycle or something like that. Like they're saying that there's a larger cycle, and the moon and the planets and everything else are also part of this larger cycle. You are part of this larger cycle. You're part of this larger, like, beautiful manifestation of what it means to exist within an infinite, abundant, boundless universe. They're like going really far, like really, really far with this, but it feels very right and very potent. Like, it just feels like this week, like they're saying in simple terms, don't be so hard on yourself. And they also say to stop championing certain opinions. And what they mean by that is stop taking your opinion and championing it. Like, stop taking your opinion and saying like, this is my opinion and this is the only opinion, basically, or this is my opinion and this is the way things should be. They're basically saying no. Like, they're basically saying no. Like, things can be different, things can expand and evolve in different beautiful ways, and your opinion is not the be all, do all, end all, right? So they're basically saying to stop championing your own opinion. Also, what they mean by that too is if you're somebody who's really hard on yourself, they're basically saying stop putting barriers and boundaries around your healing. Because I see you as this antelope and you're like running this race, and it's like the eagle is flying above you, just watching you like crash and burn up against all these like little pole obstacles, you know, where you have to like hop over them. And it's like the antelope is they have a great leap. They are some of the best leapers on our planet. So they're basically like, don't use like everything in your life doesn't have to be something to where you're measuring yourself up against something else for your healing or your manifestation. So they're basically saying, don't take something like, oh, I didn't do that today, that means that I'm not ready for this advancement in life or this miracle or this level of healing. They're basically saying you're right where you need to be. Just own the fact that you are capable, that you have the capability. Like, you are this antelope. You can hop, you can leap, you can do, but it seems like you're putting more obstacles on the track for yourself that need, like, there's more trouble than needs to be. Basically, there's more it's harder for you because of how hard you are on yourself. Basically, that's what it's saying. Like, I just see this antelope like running on a track and like crashing into every single, you know, like the little pole things where like people just like hop over them, or they have those for like dogs. That's basically what's happening. I'm like, no, antelopes are some of the best leapers here. So oh god, all the cards are flipping. So I'm shuffling right now our Hermetic Tarot to get some more messages, and already flipped out pretty much immediately. We have the Queen of Wands with the Queen of the Throne of Flames. Beautiful. And then we have the Five of Swords in reverse with the Lord of Defeat, of course. And let's see what else we have out there. That Ace of Swords was looking mighty telling as well. There's somebody out there who needed to hear that, like Ace of Swords energy. Ooh, cards are just flying all over the place. They're like, don't be afraid too of like whatever you feel is unfulfilled currently. Like, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of unfulfillment, they're saying, because unfulfillment makes space or leaves room for full fulfillment. So basically, an empty tummy has space for it to become a full tummy, is what they're saying. Interesting. Is this a card? I might have to like go in and find this card, but it was up here. Let's see. Yep. Seven of Pentacles, Lord of Success Unfulfilled. Basically what they're saying with that card is don't be so, and look at bottom deck. Six of Wands, Lord of Victory. that's basically what they're saying. So it seems like you probably were in a position to where you like started some stuff, or like you've kind of been on like this stop or start energy, or you basically had like a lot of false hope, or you had hopes for certain things that just didn't go through, some things that just simply just didn't happen for you that you thought were going to happen, that you were like intuitively guided to this and turn that way and that way, and things just never panned out. They're basically what has been happening for you has been this stretching, because there seems like there needs to be a strong two things need to happen for you, group 2, which would be super important for you. One, to trust spirit, to trust the natural laws of the universe, to trust the universe itself and its magic and the beautiful things that co-inspire to grow you. Basically what they're saying too is look at your own body, look at all the millions and billions and trillions of atoms and cells and things inside your body that are all working together in order to keep you alive and working, for you to sit here and watch this video, for you to eat, for you to move, for you to work, for you to do anything that you do in the material plane. So they're basically saying look at the universe as the same thing, like your body is the universe, all these things conspiring in order to help you, in order for your survival. And they're basically saying that the universe is the same way, and the universe is like that for the collective, not only an individual, which your spiritual team is there for you too, but also as an entire collective. So nobody is going to be left behind in this. And the way that you're growing, they want you to know that you just had the second thing. That's the second thing. You just had to get to a point to where you understood how capable you are. So I feel like this week you might be going into a down or like a hibernation mode, so that you can tap into that capability. So like, a down could be you getting really frustrated, like, somebody saying, oh, you can't do this, and you get really frustrated and you're like, no, I can. And that frustration is like fuel, because you're like, no, I am capable. So it's just like showing you in places where you are capable, because that's the second thing, trusting spirit. And then the second thing is knowing that you are completely capable of achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve in this lifetime, is basically what is coming through. And there's something that you're doing, there's some mission that is coming through you that it can't be defeated. The Five of Swords is here to represent the fact that whatever it is that you've been designed to deliver to this world, it is completely part of your design, and your will and your disappointment, your I can't do this, or I'm not good enough for this, that is not stronger than the will of spirit, of God, of the will of the powers that be, that are all helping on the other side, orchestrate all these things and that are working through you. So basically that's what that energy is coming through. I get a strong sense here from the Five of Swords energy that whatever it is, it will not defeat you. This lifetime will not defeat you. You cannot defeat this beautiful mission that is coming through you, and nobody outside of you can defeat you either. Like, there's this strong sense that you cannot be defeated. And no matter how unfulfilled, unsatisfactory life may seem at some points, and even during this current time, there's this stretching that has been happening, because you had to stretch in order to fill bigger shoes. Basically, you just have a bigger mission, a bigger gift that is calling out to you, even a bigger talent, something more that is wanting to exist through you, that is coming through, and you will absolutely positively be victorious. The two things that you really, really need, which is basically wrapped up in don't be so hard on yourself, which is not being so hard on yourself, is lesson plan number 1. But the two things that you're basically learning right now is to learn to trust the magic of the universe and its innate design and order with the eagle energy, and then trust that you as a human being, you as a soul incarnated into a body, you are capable of delivering the very mission you were designed and brought here, and you chose to come here to do, to deliver. Whatever it is that you came here to do and deliver and give to the world will come through you. There is nothing that's going to stop that. And you may have some other human desires that you want to do, or some of the stuff that you wish you would have did or changed. But I tell you right now, in an alternate universe, whatever the mission is, it's still going to happen. And in an alternate universe, even if you did all the things you said you wish you didn't do or wish didn't happen, in an alternate universe, if those things did happen or you didn't do those things, there's still going to be other parts of your life that were compromised, or that you would consider, corrupted or compromised, or like where you wish, oh, I would have done that differently. So really, they're basically saying, don't be so hard on yourself. You are literally the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is your energy. Absolutely your energy. You're sitting on the throne right now. You're on fire. You're super passionate. There's a lot of beauty just exuding and radiating out of your energetic field. You have a lovely, lovely aura and energy about you. There's just beauty exuded through you right now on the inside and the outside. So any tiny thought that you have that's telling you otherwise, feel free to confront that and say no, or just like, I understand why you would feel that way because of conditioning and because of fear and doubt and judgment and disappointment, but I'm going to take it a little step higher and move past you, because I know the point of my mission and my incarnation will absolutely be fulfilled. So that's the energy that you're tapping into this week. That's a lot. We got a full moon this today too, so that's probably where all that energy is coming from. So let's get into your Dawnbringer intuitive message. You have the Three of Swords. I am not defeated, or defined. I am not defined by my pain and trauma, nor will I minimize it to make other people uncomfortable. I love that. Exactly. So this is going back to that energy, is you're not defined by your disappointments, your doubts, your past, anything like that. But you also won't hide who you are and the things that have gotten you to where you are just to make other people feel comfortable. The reason why you have all this beautiful wisdom is because of these defeats, is because of this, success unfulfilled and stuff like that. You're gaining so much knowledge and so much wisdom through that, and you have been this entire time, and they just really want you to understand that. So that's why they don't want you to be so hard on yourself. So I really, really love how the Three of Swords came out to just solidify that message. And then your Chakra wisdom card for this week is acceptance of self. Of course, it's a hard chakra for this group. It's time to rejuvenate myself by giving myself love. I accept myself the way I am, and I remind myself that I cannot feel any better about life than how I feel about myself. I will not wait a moment longer to accept myself. I honor what my body is asking for, and if I am unsure, I will ask myself, what can I do to be healthier and more balanced than I am now? I dwell upon all that is right in my life, not what is wrong, and I have gratitude. I accept my life as it is now, and I move forward from here. Exactly. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. Like accepting yourself, not being so hard on yourself, knowing what it is that you can do, and stretching and stretching and stretching from there. Knowing, and I feel like this group too, I feel like you're the group that you know yourself, you love yourself, and you're building upon like this goddess energy, or like this really like high attunement type energy, but there's like these little tiny things that are still kind of like getting in the way, basically, or like that puts like fear and doubt in the way. So I feel like that is what's happening for you, group 2. I feel like you're not necessarily locked on to mass consciousness in a way that you are. It just doesn't feel like you're operating from that place of mass consciousness where it's like, oh, it's me, everything sucks and my life sucks. It's like, you know that there's a mission that needs to come out of you. You know that there's a higher gift. You know that there's a higher attainment and attunement for you. You just struggle with how you're going to get there is basically what I feel from you. So let's get into your law of Ma'at for this week. What do you have? Oh, I am forgiving. Of course. That is so beautiful. I love this card. It's such a beautiful card. And paired with acceptance of self is beautiful. And I love how that is too paired with Three of Swords, because the beautiful thing about forgiveness is not allowing yourself to consistently and identify with your past trauma. True forgiveness is when you let it go and let go of the energy of other people, places, and things that are attached to that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really, really forgive yourself, you don't have to use your past and what you did in the past as ammunition against yourself. You don't have to use it like when something bad happens in your life and you're like, I hate myself. It's because of what I did back in 2001 when I slapped that person. You know, like when you do that, that's you identifying with the past, identifying with the trauma, and you're not forgiving yourself and all those involved. And sometimes it's a little harder to forgive other people outside of you, but start with yourself. I promise you, when you start with forgiving yourself, it's a lot so much easier to forgive other people, because you understand that other people are just like you. I don't care about their motives. We shouldn't care about, their motives are their motives. Whatever they're thinking, their intentions, that is all on them, and that's what they have to take up with God, in spirit. That's what they have to take up with their own universe and their own self. You know what I'm saying? This is not about revenge or getting back at people or wanting people to suffer like you did or live in misery like you did. This is not about that. This is about introducing forgiveness into your own life. And when you do that to your own self, you introduce that same level of healing to the collective, because it's an energy. It's creating a ripple effect throughout the entire landscape of the collective, because we're all connected. So that's basically too what the Eagle card in reverse is trying to say to you, is don't think that just healing is some individual thing. This is not separate. When you heal, we all heal. When you heal, we all heal. When you accept yourself, it causes a ripple effect, and we all feel that in some way, shape, or form, energetically, spiritually, intuitively. And this is why we have this kind of mass rippling effect of awakening that's happening on our planet, because of people like you, group 2, who are waking up to themselves and taking the time out to do this type of work. So before I let you go, I do want to pull 3 romance angels. So I won't be divining these cards in any way. I'm just going to pull these cards out, and I'm going to read them, and I'm going to allow you to sit with them. If they resonate, they resonate. If they don't, they don't. But I feel like this is your chance to intuitively know what is for you and what is not, for sure. And I feel like you're already really good about that, so you'll know. Even if you try to scare yourself into one that you're like, maybe it is this because this is the scarier option. Truly, why are you choosing the scary option? Why are you choosing the one that's scary? So we have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Ooh. We have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. I feel like for the majority of people watching group 2, it's the attraction card for sure. And then we have, let's see our last card. We have children. Your love life is being affected by children. And children can count as inner child. Children can be actual children. Children can be your descendants who are looking to use you as a portal, as you did your own parents. Children can have a lot of different connotations outside of actual children. So, all right, group 2. I really hope that basically that wraps up your week. I don't know why I said it like that. Let me backtrack. I hope that message made sense. Let me summarize. This week, you'll be doing some self-reflection, some inner work on what you believe is capable in your connection to spirit and the universe. Basically, you're going to be learning how to be less critical and less hard on your own self, because there's something beautiful being born from you. Okay? So, if the reading did not resonate, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You are under no obligation to hold on to anything that is not yours. But I do hope this reading did resonate. Let me know down in the comments how it affected you, how it affected your life, what's going on. How did this resonate with you if it did? So, yeah. Thanks for visiting me. Thanks for hanging out in my little layer here today, and I'll see you next time, friends. Bye-bye. Hello for all of our friends who chose group 3 with the really cool blue citrine. This will be your reading for this week. You have 2 power animal cards this week. It's very interesting. Let's hop right into it. You have buffalo in reverse. Ooh, you're not trusting how abundant the universe is. Oh, and then we have wolf in reverse too. Interesting. So wolf came out last week. So those who picked wolf last week might be drawn to this pile as well. So what I'm getting from this is too, and it's interesting too, because wolves hunt, in packs, and they will hunt buffalo, or they did at one point. This is very interesting. This feels like you're not trusting how abundant the universe is. Like, even if something else, this is similar to another group, but even if something else doesn't work out, there's always something else right behind it. So I feel like you're doing some inner reflection this week, or some self reflection on how abundant the universe really is. Like, you know how, like, I'm seeing like a pomegranate and seeing all the beautiful seeds in the pomegranate, or like a strawberry. Like, the universe, Mother Earth, is extremely, extremely, extremely abundant, and you, like, there's always enough. Like, this is you really deeply. I'm so sorry, my throat. Really, there's like some throat chakra and some like crown chakra stuff going on right now for this group. But it just feels like the universe and the planet is so abundant. There's always enough. So I feel like this is you going inside, doing some self-reflection on what do you really feel about scarcity consciousness or lack consciousness, because there's always enough. I feel like there's just a little tiny thing that you need to better understand about, because right now, like, even resonating with the energy, I just want to flip them up, like upright, because it's like there's always, like, literally there's always enough is your answer. And I feel like that could answer a lot of people's questions that we have in this life. You know, even there are rich people out there who have money, 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 but they still have a poor mentality because scarcity consciousness. So I feel like for you, group 3, like, your scarcity consciousness is really being rewritten and reframed. Like, there's always enough. There's always enough of you. There's always enough love. You know, like, if you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship and you're single and you're like, why? Or if you're in a relationship you want to get out of, but you're scared because you're like, what if I'm never going to meet anybody like this again? Like, Spirit is really saying there's always enough. Like, there are enough people, there are enough places, there are enough things, there's enough food. So it's kind of sad how we have this scarcity consciousness, because what we tend to do is hoard, and we lock ourselves, and when I tap into this energy, it goes right back into reverse. When we lock ourselves in situations that we claim we have to stay here because we have fear that there's not enough, that is when we're not trusting our own selves and our own ability to provide for ourselves, like the wolves. And then we are not trusting that there is an abundance of beauty out there. And one of the reasons why bison or buffalo represent abundance is because you can do so much with them. You know, you can use their horns for ivory, you can use the hide to make coats and shoes and things like that, you can use the meat, you can use the fat as oils, you can cure the meat, you can use the hooves, you can usually pretty much use any part of that animal. Me speaking as a vegetarian, but you know, there's always enough, you know, and you can see that in pretty much anything that you use. You know, you can reuse stuff, recycle things. Like, they really want you to have more of a there's always enough, like there's something that can be done type of energy. Like, they just want you to truly, truly, truly know that you have the power. You are being led and guided. You're being guided. Like, they, both of the words wanted to come out at the same time. Like, you're being led and guided. So they don't want you to really, like, worry so much about what you don't have, because you're being led and guided. And when you try to convince yourself that you're not being led and guided, it's like you're lying to yourself. Like, you're literally lying. Like, you're being lied to by the troublemaker inside of you, who's just trying to, like, get you to always focus on what you don't have. Because when you focus on what you don't have, you see a lot of what you don't have, and you start to see a lot of what the world doesn't have. And sometimes that is a healthy medicine to have, to sit down and look at the lack consciousness and how it's actually, you know, perpetuated all across different, countries and worldviews and things like that. It can be medicinal, but not when you stay in that place. I feel like you, group 3, are the ones who are, like, bringing in that energy of, like, abundance consciousness, fullness consciousness, joy consciousness. And in order for you to know that, you need to know, as the wolf, you can do that, and you are being guided. I feel like it's very, very important that the moon is shown in this depiction of the wolf, because the wolf is, guided by the moon. So it's like there's always enough. Your buzz, your keywords, your key phrase, this week is there's always enough. And you're doing some self-reflection on those inside parts of you that tells you that you are enough. or that there isn't enough. You know, like similar to another group, like the energy of, oh, I have this thought, or this is scary to me, so that means since I'm still afraid, that means I'm not good enough. Since I still process emotions like fear and guilt and stuff like that, that means that I'm not good enough to heal, or I'm not good enough for abundance and stuff like that. And that's just simply not true. Like literally animals, we're animals. We feel fear, we feel doubt, we feel disappointment, we feel all these things. You know, that doesn't make you a bad person or not eligible to receive some handout from the divine. No, that's not what's happening. What's happening is you're learning to embody this grace and this abundance within you as the wolf, as the alpha, as the predator, and also as the prey. You're doing both. You're holding and honoring both. You're honoring the fact that you need to eat in order to sustain your own life. That means sometimes there's some things that must perish in your wake, and you're honoring the fact that you must give. You must give of yourself and of your body. And that does not mean like sexually or anything like that, but like the gift or the beauty that you have in you, you must express that authentically in order for you to feed those around you. It's like it's a cycle. You're stepping into that cycle. As long as you know that there's always enough, you won't be afraid of that cycle. You won't cork on either end. You'll receive and you'll give. You'll receive and you'll give. You will not cork on either end. This is both basically, you know, the two opposites. This is both ends of the spectrum, what you're healing. So this is the self-reflection on that. So it's really, really beautiful. I love that. Let's see if there are any other messages out there for you today. Group 3 with our Hermetic Tarot. Ooh, something flipped over in here. 7 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you're like, with the 7 of Cups, like trying to deny your hopes and dreams. Look, we have the moon come out, of course. Oh, we have the Queen of Swords. I didn't even like see her flip out there. And then we have, of course, the 10 of Cups with Lord of Perfected Success. Yes. All right. So we have the moon in reverse, but we have ruler of flux and reflux, of course, the ebb and flow. That is in reverse. Then we have the 7 of Cups with Lord of Illusionary Success. And then, which I feel like you are trying to like hide from. There's almost like this, it's weird. It's almost like you have like this illusion of what success should look like. And if it doesn't look like that, then you feel like it's not success. But you don't see in all the ways, all these like little beautiful points of like success, and our like hopes and dreams are actually aligning in the material realm. And then of course we have the Queen of Swords, which I feel like the Queen of Swords is you this week, and she is in reverse. But I feel very, very guided to keep both of those cards, both Wolf and Buffalo, upright, because I feel like the energy is just like it's beginning that inner working. It's very beautiful. So I say you are the Queen of Swords because there's just some stuff that you just have to get through your head. And I feel like this week with the Blue Heron self-reflection energy, that's just basically what's happening. You just have to get through your head that there's always enough. You know, there's always enough. There's enough for you. There's enough for everybody. This is you stepping out of scarcity consciousness, and that's what you're working through. You have the 10 of Cups out here with Lord of Perfected Success, and I honestly feel like that card is out here to represent that you're doing it. It doesn't matter what illusion you feel like you're diving into or stepping out of. It doesn't matter. The illusion is actually life itself. Life itself is actually the illusion, okay? And I feel like you're moving past that veil with the moon in reverse. I honestly feel like you're kind of moving past that veil and tapping into the inner magic of your own self. And it's not so much of, I need to wait until this happens and this happens and this happens, and that's when everything will be aligned. But knowing that you're constantly in alignment as you tap into your inner harmony and use your freedom of choice. It does not matter what choice that you take, you're always going to be aligned with what it is that you were designed to experience in this life and what you're designing to experience in your own self, because we have a spirit, and our spirit is basically this beautiful blend of our human ego experience self, our self, our identity, and our spirit, our soul, our spirit, our soul growth, our soul essence, our soul mapping. So that is our spirit, and you're being led by spirit. Spirit is you, spirit, God, all these other entities are not something outside of you that cannot be accessed, but they're all inside of you, just having a nice chit chat, and helping lead you and guide you to where you are going. So they're really wanting you to acknowledge that power that is already like present in what is like in your realm. Like it's already present, it's already there. Like you don't have to like worry as much about it as you think you do. So yeah, that it is really, it's the Seven of Cups is really interesting, because a lot of times that card to me speaks about like your hopes and what you dream and stuff like that. And it seems like you have like a very like you almost have your hopes and dreams down to a science, and you're not allowing so much of like spontaneity and like miracles, or like you try to overly figure it out. So like there's this like illusion here, or this film, to where when you actually do cross a threshold, because you're not exactly where you want to be or where you thought you would be, you don't see the innate beauty in what you've already achieved. Like even if you say you want to lose weight and you start eating healthy, and then 5 minutes later you're like, I didn't lose 60 pounds, like I'm sad about, like it's kind of like that. Like this didn't like I thought that if I did this, then this will cause this type of effect and this would happen, and it seems like you just have to tap into the energy of the fact that just like the flux and reflux, this is a process, this is a cooking, this is a journey, and the purpose of your life is the journey itself. It's not necessarily some destination. Your destiny is to experience this process and this journey, so that you can turn all this beautiful wisdom that you're experiencing and that you're gaining into something that you can teach and give to others. That is what is happening. That is the process. So that's why we have the perfecting success out here, because you're perfecting this down, because you're naturally someone who like gets it down to a science. You get it down to what's practical, which is beautiful, because that means you are someone who can ground this into the material plane. And I honestly feel like that's what's happening. It just feels like the alchemy, the air alchemy, the steam, that is a part that has to like really get in the mix, kind of aerate everything, you know what I'm saying? Like we need the water, we need the air, we need the earth, we need the fire, we need all that for our alchemy inside and outside. And that's basically what's happening. This is definitely a perfection of whatever it is that you're crafting, and this is just one of those things where it just has to take time. You know how there are those rich people who pay a lot of money for like wine that has been sitting in somebody's cellar for like hundreds of years? It's basically that energy. The more time you give it, and the more you allow and you dip into and drop into this process, the happier you'll feel, and the more you'll actually experience abundance in every single thing that you do. So that is that energy. So let's get into your intuitive message this week. We have the King of Pentacles. There we go. I attribute hard work, diligence, faith, and support to all I have achieved. I couldn't have done this alone. Exactly. Like I was saying, you are being led and guided in everything that you're experiencing in your life. All the work that you're putting into this, the faith that you're giving it, the hope, all the support that you're experiencing from the inside, from the outside, from other people, all of this is part of the process. It's all part of the alchemy. It's very beautiful. And then your chakra wisdom card, we have wisdom and discernment with the sixth chakra, third eye chakra. We have, I am open to understanding the spiritual truths behind the situations occurring in my life right now. Exactly. I offer my wisdom to assist others along their path. I trust in a higher source to guide me and to help others who ask for my guidance. Exactly. So you understand what you're receiving, how you're being led, how you're being guided, what you can take, and then what you can give. I practice discernment and listen deeply within for the truth. I choose to respond to rather than just reacting to situations, acting with clarity, courage, and conviction. Yep, there you go, group 3. And then our last card before we pull a couple of romance angels, we have our Law of my Aunt, which is, look at that. Look at that. Look. You know, I follow my inner guidance. That's it. That is it. And I love how her third eye in that picture is beaming, and then you have the third eye chakra coming out. So it's beautiful. And I also love too so much how both of them are looking at this, the king and the queen, like this inner harmony between the masculine and the feminine, are like looking at that perfected success. I love that. I love it. It's beautiful. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. You know, that's what's supposed to happen. That giving and receiving is beautiful, 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 beautiful. So let's pull all 3 romance angels. I won't be divining these cards at all. I'll just be pulling them out, and then you'll take whatever resonates for you. You'll know if it applies to you or not. And this feels like there's some like sweet, like heart, like gummy, cute, chewy, romantic vibes out there today. So I'm definitely wanting to offer whatever messages are, those messages are as well today. So we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. That makes a lot of sense. And then we have, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. I feel like there's somebody I have to mention out there where they just got into a relationship and they feel all the things, but they're not sure if this is the one. I feel like this card is like, yeah, like one, that's the one. And then, hold on, I had 2 cards. I don't want 2. I just want 1. Let's see. Sorry for all the noise in the background. It's just, everybody's up and about. It's like literally a spring day here, and we're all enjoying it. Oh, there it is. And we have flirt. Oh, that's the second time that's come out. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. I love that. That is so fun. All right, group 3. And those are all of your messages today. I really, really hope they resonated. If they did not, that is absolutely okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have fun. Let me know down in the comments what's going on with your week, and I will see you next time, friend. Bye-bye. Hello, group 4, for all of our friends who chose the African turquoise for your week ahead reading. This is for you. So I'm just getting my cards all slidey. Let's hop right into this. We'll be using some Hermetic Tarot for more clarification. So we have Bear. We have Bear reverse. Oh. Wow. So usually Bear talks about like taking time out, kind of relaxing, being like, Bear typically does not talk about strength to me at all. Bear is usually like the complete opposite. It's like fluffy belly, sweet. Ooh. So the imagery that I'm seeing, this is about practicing mindfulness. So this is your self-reflection. All the messages this week are about self-reflection, because we have Blue Heron to come over with an overall collective message, and it's all about self-reflection. I don't feel like anything is going to be happening too much with the outer, which it could be. But it feels like mainly everything is about self-reflection. And what I'm seeing is this bear so beautifully just kind of rummaging around the forest. I see a beautiful waterfall. And like just these bugs, these insects that are just flying around. And they just have this magical essence about them, like fairies or some type of pixies or something. And they're just flying around. And everything is so tranquil. And this bear like just sits right up on a tree. And it's just like licking its fingers of honey. Like, it's just very, very peaceful. So I feel like this week, honestly, group 4, you're going to be guided to all the places inside of you where you're not offering yourself peace. You're not offering yourself tranquility. You're not tapping into the mind, like mindfulness. You know, like there's so much more of it that you can introduce to your life. And it's not something that you have to hold. Sometimes it's hard to hold in certain type of circumstances. So that's not what I'm saying. But it seems like there are just moments in your life or in your day where you can drop into mindfulness, like drinking water, reading a book, and not saying that these things themselves are mindful. Sometimes we even in those situations we don't practice mindfulness, but there are moments where you can kind of like absorb the world around you through your skin, like all the sounds, all the smells, all the sights, everything that you're feeling and sensing. It's like holding all of them as one, holding all those things as part of your whole, of what is creating you in that moment. This is what that energy is. Like everything that I'm seeing for this bear is creating that bear. The waterfall, the pixies, the grass, the honey on the fingers, the bark of the tree, everything is creating the beautiful essence that that bear is radiating. It's very, very beautiful. And it feels very vice versa. It feels like everything that that bear is feeling inside, the beauty, the tranquility, the peace, the sweetness of the honey that is looking off of his fingers, it feels like the bear is creating that beautiful, beautiful, tranquil scenery based on how it's feeling on the inside. It's a very beautiful exchange that is happening with the world outside of the bear and the world inside of the bear. It's very, very beautiful. I also feel like, too, group 4, there's a lot of you who need a change of environment or are struggling with your environment, or just really, really desire. I feel it in my belly. It's like a gut-wrenching like pain that it's just like I need a new environment. I need a new environment. And it's almost like sometimes you want to hop out of your own body or your own skin because you need a new environment so badly. I need a new environment. It's like a whisper from the belly, and it's almost like I feel like a sensation of a baby being inside of a belly and hitting the sides of the belly like, I want out, I want to get out. So it feels like. Wow, there's definitely some like movement energy or energy of like moving or something like getting rid of, like ridding yourself or like shedding some type of like environment. You're shedding an environment. But what is happening first is a self-reflection. It's like this knowing that it needs to be shed. This inner peace that you're creating. And you're creating in your own environment, and you're seeing how that environment is like reflecting that back to you, and how you can do that in better spaces, like taking that habit and that behavior and putting that into a space that you can truly feed into, basically. Very, very beautiful energy. Especially it's kind of difficult like when you live with other people. That means that you're co-creating an environment when you're living with other people. And other people, if they're not co-creating the same environment as you, it can be quite difficult, right? Like, for instance, in this imagery that I see that the waterfall is co-creating this beautiful environment with the bear, that the pixies, that the grass, that the sun, that the tree and the tree's bark are co-creating this beautiful environment with the bear. So the pixies aren't like, having a hissy fight, or, the water isn't running still, it's not sitting there stagnant. The tree bark isn't, complaining that the bear is leaning up against it and it can't hold its weight. Basically, there's no complaining. Everything is where it needs to be, and they're all co-creating this beautiful environment together. It's not just one thing create an environment to hold everything. It's like an entire co-creation. It's very, very beautiful. I just want to say here, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Yeah. I feel like everybody watching Group 4 just needed that sigh, like a big belly sigh, like, like, I feel like that sigh is like a sigh of relief is coming for you, like a freight train. Like, I feel like a sigh of relief is coming for you. There is a change of environment because there's just a need for you to design and to live in an environment that is willing to co-create with you, even if that means living by yourself for a while, or living with I don't know why the word romance wants to shoot out of my mouth, but maybe there's a romantic partner, but living with a roommate who has the same type of, like, a similar lifestyle, and who has the same type of, standards and expectations, basically, as you. This could be that. I honestly feel like this is about you, like, understanding, like, the beauty of your inner harmony and where you can offer yourself more peace, but also understanding that it is important for you, for your optimal sustainability, for you to live in an environment that is willing to co-create with you, basically. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I see like somebody, like I see like actually myself too, like this time when I was like in San Fran, like walking throughout the city, and I was like, yeah, I love this. You know, I mean? Like everybody's like co-creating this beautiful environment together, even if they're like, you know, not on the same page, and it doesn't matter what your intentions are, what you're thinking or anything. It's just that moment of clarity and that moment of peace of everybody co-creating this beautiful bustling city where everybody's walking and going to their destinations and driving and eating and chatting and whatever the heck else is happening. It's the beautiful co-creation of the environment. It's so beautiful. I love this energy. So that is for you this week. Understanding where you can offer yourself more peace and co-creating a beautiful environment. Also, I'm hearing leaving no stone unturned. And I'm also hearing peace and meditation, mindfulness. And I'm also hearing, what is it? I'm trying to get the language. Co-creating, finding your own way to co-create, finding your own way to co-create, co-creating peace in your environment. Also feeling like leaving no stone unturned is like this essence too, or this element too, of like making sure, not even making sure, but naturally where you are, you're like a filter. So naturally how you are and the way you exist, when you move throughout spaces, you naturally leave them healthier than what they were before, even if you leave them in destruction, even if you leave them in a sense of shambling and trying to rebuild and picking up the pieces. Even that rebuilding is important. You're like, you go into spaces and you change the temperature and you put it on like its optimal speed, like, and that's power. And it's just your time. It's just like your mode of operation. It's just who you are. It's your time to like really honor the fact that that is a power that you have, and that's kind of what you exude and what you are and what you do. Like, you can tap into environments and step into environments, and like the bear, you can co-create with the scenery. You know, he like completely changed the temperature, because the bear could come in like roar, you know, destroying everything, and then that forest is, you know, forced to rebuild and restructure, but that also gives way to new life, new plants. You know, the waterfall may even run differently because of the destruction that the bear left behind. So this is a very beautiful energy. This is definitely tapping into like inner peace, inner tranquility, like trusting your own like speed and being your own fan. I'm hearing too. Like changing your own temperature, being your own fan. Interesting. So let's see what else we have here with tarot. This might be a little bit of a longer reading. We don't have too many oracle cards though. But I was being selfish, and I didn't want to leave that energy because it felt like, why would you? You know, it felt, I still have it like resonating in my heart. So I really hope you feel it too. Let's see. We have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups. Wow, we have Lord of the root of the power of fire and Lord of the root of the power of water. So it's very interesting how we have both those aces plopping out like that. And then we have Four of Pentacles with Lord of earthly power, which is beautiful because you have two elements already coming in to fill their slot. And then we have, wow, we have the Chariot with Lord of the triumph of the light. Yeah, that's it. That is you, group 4. I honestly feel like the Chariot is you. Like, this is you stepping into the Chariot and like owning your light and like knowing, like, not even light as in light, but like the beauty and the essence, like your soul essence, your soul radiance. I want to use the word radiance besides light, because the light versus dark, sometimes that the words themselves kind of like weird me out. So I'm going to use like radiance and depth instead. I'm going to try like instill that. But it's like the radiance that you're exuding and the radiance that you're moving into. Like, it's like the radiance has won. The radiant part of you has won. No longer does it have to shrink or feel or do anything. The radiance touches what it touches. It touches everything around it. So honestly, I feel beautiful, well, an overwhelming like spring of healing energy like coming into your life. It's very, very, very beautiful. It feels so powerful and so moving and so potent. It's like exactly what it needs to be. I feel the same energy from this Ace of Cups card that I felt with the that beautiful peace and tranquility when we went into that scenery together, you know? Like, I feel that same thing. And it's beautiful how we were talking about moving environment, and we literally have the Chariot out here, which is one of those cards of moving. Even though sometimes the Chariot can speak on obstacles or difficulty, I don't feel that at all from your card. I honestly feel like you have surmounted that. And what is happening is, and look right under that. Look right under that. Under that, we have the Nine of Pentacles with Lord of Material Gain. And right under that, we have the Six of Swords with Lord of Earned Success. So I really, really hope you tune into this energy, because I honestly feel like this is you, like this radiance that is like shining behind you, and like these stars and stuff. It's like that's you. Like, that's literally you. Like, this is what you've been working towards. You've been putting in so much work, and you've been doing just everything that you need to do. And it just, the world was already aligned for your triumph. Like, no matter how you look back at your past and how you judge yourself or judge other people or judge the situations, the Lord, the master in you, was not designed to fail at this mission at all. And it's very, very beautiful how it's coming through. Lord of earthly power, this is like mastery to me. It's very beautiful. It's like a mastery, especially with the two aces out here. And I freaking love so much the Ace of Wands, because I feel like the Ace of Wands is like this touch of vigor, or this coming through as like this touch of power, this touch of like, I love how we have like changing temperatures, and we literally have fire and water. Like, it just kind of feels like this ignition in the heart, like starting up the engine. And like, yes, we can go. But with the starting up the engine, it's like the passion, moving past fear, moving past doubt, moving past disappointment, holding the hope, holding the faith, and just allowing your everyday life and your everyday world to transform you, and allow this process. And you've been allowing this process. You may have fought, you may have bitten, and there still might be some of that, but it's just allowing, like, what you've experienced and the choices that you've made so far they're all leading you down the same way. What I'm seeing in my vision is like all these different windy paths, blah blah blah, over here I made this choice, over here I made this choice, over there, I'm at this fork in the road. Do I go here? Do I go there? But it's like this fork eventually does this. It doesn't matter what choice that you choose, even if there are many choices, they always come together. They always intertwine. So it doesn't necessarily matter. It's like you're going to achieve what it is that you are supposed to achieve, what you're supposed to experience. And it's like the beauty that's coming into your life is like a dollop of daisy, like putting like a cherry on top is very beautiful. Ooh, this is good energy. It's really good. It's really refreshing. It's like being in the desert for a really long time and like drinking a cup of water, basically. It's also too like turning this fire down a little bit, and kind of like this this illumination of the fear and like the scariness inside of you, and like kind of illuminating more of your resonance and your light, like your radiance. It's very beautiful. I'm hearing the word respite too, so that's also really interesting. So let's get into your intuitive message from the Dawnbringer spiritual team, which is the Two of Pentacles. I am capable of managing my time, space, and energy. Yep, there you go. You are the bear. Like I was saying, that inner harmony, that managing, like, that co-creation energy, like whatever it is that you're doing inside, like managing that in the inside so that it is reflected on the outside as well. And then we have our chakra wisdom card, which is solar plexus, of course. Third chakra with self-discipline. My self-discipline and willpower will significantly help me in my efforts to move forward and grow. I am free of the need of the approval of others. I face each challenge with determination and courage, and I am determined to live my life to its fullest potential. Exactly. I am strong and capable. My actions speak louder than my words. Yep, exactly. That is for you, group 4, for sure. And then we have your law of my aunt, which is yes, yep. I keep the waters pure. I love that so much. And to me, this is what this is saying is basically allowing things to flow. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about never feeling guilt or hate or resentment or anger or anything like that. This is about allowing the process. This is about when you keep water pure, what do? You allow it to run. You allow it to flow. And that's exactly what she's doing and depicting in this picture. Like, this is like same energy. Like, this is same energy. I honestly feel like this energy is like coming into your life. I feel like out of all groups, group 4, you are probably the group that is could experience some type of physical manifestation of some sort or something that comes into the physical realm. Even though I feel like most of this is self-reflection and inner work, I feel like if there is a group that experiences something very deeply physically, it will be group 4. It's really, really beautiful energy that's coming through. I love how we have I keep the waters pure with the Ace of Cups out here. With the I need to say I'm capable of managing my time, space, and energy, and this energy of, the beautiful inner harmony and the flow that is happening inside of you, this mindfulness of the process of your entire life, and allowing that to be your process, allowing that to be your alchemy and what is creating the life that you see for yourself in the future. So before we go, I do want to pull 3 romance angels because I feel some gooey romance energies out there. So I do want to see what those are about. I will not be divining them or talking about them really in any way, just unless there is a message that comes through. But this is all about like tapping into what is coming through for you at this time. I knew this card was going to come out. I knew this card was going to come out. I knew it. So we have the soulmate card. Yes, this is your soulmate. I knew that card was going to come out. And then we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Oh my God. This is so funny to me, like personally. And then we have give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. That's the second time that card's come out. So it's very, very interesting. So as I said, I will leave you with that. If it resonates, you'll know exactly what card you're drawn to. Just like when this card flipped out, I was like, oh, I'm like, like, especially you group 4, you definitely know. Ooh, I love so much this chariot energy for you, but that is all we have for you today. So I really, really hope it resonated. If it did not, that is okay. Take what resonated and the rest will absolutely fall away. You are not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. However, I do hope it did resonate. I hope it did resonate. And then if it did, let me know down in the comments how it resonated for you and what's going on with your life this week and what is this romance energy. I want the tea. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time, group 4. Bye bye.